So I probably done a little introduction already in the office, but now I'm at Senghenydd. See the little sign, the mural. So where I'm actually standing now is actually one of the railway bridges for the train tracks going into the colliery in Senghenydd. And that is Station Road, quite a well-known road in Senghenydd. That white house there is an old police station. But Senghenydd colliery was basically in the forest trees over there, and that's where I'm heading. So I'll be walking alongside this side and up to the colliery, and I'm going to pop past a rugby field as well. So I've been walking around quite a bit now, around the behind of the houses on Station Road, and further up Senghenydd, because I like my rugby and I do a lot of work with rugby. And one of the big things with mining, or a workman's club and a community like this, there's always a rugby field, because that's how rugby is grown in Wales. Rugby is grown because of all these pockets of communities like Senghenydd, like in the Gwendrath Valley. You've got rugby fields and rugby teams in each village, and there could be, you could be, for example, my local rugby team down West Wales is ABER, and you've got the local derby is against Tumble, which is literally the next village over. And same here, you've got Senghenydd and Aber just down the road, and they're two different teams, and there's not really much point. You're that close, but because there was two mining communities here, or basically a big family, there were two families, but two mines. You had people who worked in the Windsor, and then one group of crew because of Senghenydd. And in the old footage of the old mine, or the old Universal Colliery in Senghenydd, you could see very faintly a rugby field right next door to the colliery. And the Senghenydd field is not there anymore. Like, the rugby club isn't there. It's further down if you come here today, for example. But the field is still here. Well, if you compare the archive photos of the colliery and this, it's just obvious it's a rugby field. So I've decided to walk up here to see it. And you can just see it, right? There's just a little path, and there's a step, and all this is flat. This is a flat field, completely flat. And the colliery would have been just there, literally in there, just over that brow, basically. I just had the drone up, and it's quite surreal. It's quite weird. You see things on Google Maps, and on Google Earth, and you don't really get this feeling of the size of the place. So I got when I had the drone up now, I lifted off from here. The rugby field is there. You can see the banking, so where it's squared off, like, to make it flat. And over I lifted the drone up over that trees there. You instantly see the footprint of the of the Universal Colliery, and I don't know. Maybe I'm quite an emotional guy, you know. Like, I'm a bit like I wear my emotions on my sleeve type thing. But as soon as I lifted it, and you see the scale of a platform, or the footprint or the foundation of where it was compared to the village, it's crazy. It's massive. It must have been a sight to see, you know, like waking up every morning and you see that on your doorstep. And it's quite sad, to be honest. Like, sad because, and we'll get on to it why it's sad just in a bit. But that is Senghenydd Colliery, right there. So I've come back to Station Road, right? So the reason I've come back to here, so you saw the photos of me at this point. I've come back here with a drone now because there's an archive photo of this view with the top of these houses, and I wouldn't mind trying to replicate it. And looking at the archive photo, you can walk up there, right? You can. It's a public path, but when looking at the photo wasn't taken up there. It was taken behind me. And there's a little cliff face. So, but it's a private property, so I'm going to get the drone up. I'll give it a go. I was hoping to go into the museum. So there's a museum in ABER Senghenydd, a museum about Senghenydd Colliery, even the Windsor Colliery down in Aber as well. But it seems closed, so it's a shame really. I would like to go in there, especially being so close to the anniversary. And speaking of the anniversary, I'm going to get into why I'm doing this video and what anniversary it is, because it's not a nice thing, but it's one of the reasons Senghenydd is on the map and why people know of Senghenydd Colliery. So with that, I'm going to take you now to a next location in the area. Right, so you join me now at this next location. So I'm on the other side of Senghenydd now. So here now, in the previous video you must have seen me taking photos of the other side of the village, so those are the houses I was taking photos of. But here is a heritage site as well. So this bit here is where the slums were, where the workers to the colliery, the people who lived quite close, so that's where all the slums were, right? So that's all that there. So this makes you an idea of how close you were to the colliery. At 6 a.m. on Tuesday, 14th of October 1913, men and boys in the local area all went to work at the Universal Colliery in Senghenydd. They would start their day off by descending into the darkness of the pits. This, for many, would be the last time they would see the morning light. At 8 a.m. on that very day, a huge explosion rocked the tiny town of Senghenydd. The explosion that brought about the disaster was probably caused by an electrical spark from something like the electrical signalling gear, which igniting the methane gas fire dump as it was known. As if there wasn't enough, the fire dump explosion caused coal dust lying on the floor of the mine to rise, and this also caught fire and exploded in a gigantic roar. The shockwave promptly caused more coal dust to rise into the air, and this also then ignited. In effect, what happened was a series of self-fueling explosions. The explosions were so violent that the cage of the Lancaster pit was even blown back up the shaft to wedge in the pit head winding gear. A banksman standing close by was decapitated by a piece of flying wood due to the winding gear being blown back up the shaft. The fire spread through most of the underground workings, quickly followed by afterdamp. These were gases formed by the explosion, waves of carbon monoxide that ensured those miners who had escaped the explosion would be suffocated due to lack of oxygen unless they could quickly get to the surface. So over this video, I would have said a lot of history about the place as a voiceover, but being here now, it is quite weird. It's peaceful because you know how much what's happened there, and twice it happened, but one being catastrophic. But it's quite weird being here because that's all my microphone probably is picking up is audio of the kids playing in the school, which is just over there. I don't know what to think about that. I think it's in a way it's probably a nice thing for the people, for the ones that lost. It just shows that I don't know, generations are still here, living in a village. It's shocking in my mind that it could have been resolved after the first disaster, but it was just, in a way, it was going to happen again, and it did, and it was catastrophic. That memorial up there is very sad. Of the young girl and her baby, or young sister. So they're two sisters waiting to hear news, and there's a photo, and I put the photo up. Yeah, it's very sad. It's very peaceful, and I'm doing this video now. It's because today I'm on Tuesday. Well, in 7 days' time, it'll be the anniversary of Senghenydd, and that's why I wanted to do it now. And the videos do it live on the day. But behind me here as well, we've got a memorial garden for all the collieries in Wales, and I'm going to walk that now because I got a feeling I'll probably come across a couple that I recognise as well. So I've seen my first colliery I know. So Senghenydd. So Senghenydd Colliery, that's where I'm from, basically. So Senghenydd was this. I didn't realise. I never come across this one. I'll have to look into this. But 6 fatalities in 1971. So Senghenydd Colliery is a new colliery. It was a new colliery that brought. Senghenydd Colliery was a new colliery. It connected all the old collieries together. So yeah, I wasn't aware of. I did that thing Senghenydd, to be honest. I'll have to look into that. So another one, and this is probably the local one for me. ABER, that's mine. So ABER Colliery, that's my local colliery. ABER was where the family grew up. Just outside ABER, in a village called Bankford. You probably recognise I do a lot of work for ABER Rugby Club, because it's my local team. I used to play with them, the Gwendraeth Colliery. So similar to the kids here in Senghenydd, we used to pay our respects every anniversary on the 10th of May. Another local one, Senghenydd. So that's the next village down from ABER. 5 fatalities, 1924. See, I'm unaware of these fatalities because I only looked into ABER, or the Gwendraeth one. So Senghenydd. Trimsaran, that's another quite a close one. 2 from Trimsaran. Yeah, so that was my little visit to Senghenydd, the Memorial Garden. 440 lost their life during the disaster here in Senghenydd. One of them being a rescuer. But yeah, I would definitely encourage people to come down, have a look around. Senghenydd it's in the valleys, the valleys in Wales were a very popular, quite a rich place. Like a lot of people would go to the valleys because of the work. So there was a lot of buildings and obviously because of no collieries and everything closed down now, the valleys it's just quite an empty space. It is, but they are pretty in their own way, and the people are lovely. Like today now, I've been walking around with a trestle mount and a camera, and people are like, "What the heck is that?" But people are very welcoming, like to talk as well. So yeah, please come down, and hopefully this will show you a lot about collieries in Wales. And if you like this type of stuff, please let me know, because I'll do more of them, because I want to go and do my own local collieries as well. So after here now, we're going to go to Eglwys Silen. So Eglwys Silen is where a lot of these miners and kids and the fathers and sons, and a lot of these people were buried, and they find a resting place. So I'm leaving the Memorial Garden now, and in good time really, because the school's just come up to, one of the classes have just come up to visit the memorial, and the teachers are talking about it and so on. And it just shows again how rooted these mining disasters in Wales are still rooted to us, today. It's brilliant to see. I walked Eglwys Silen churchyard. It was a beautiful church. And I did take some photos and video, but while I'm editing this video now, I decided not to put it in and just put this my opinion on it. But this video, on editing this video, has made me realise that this innocent POV photography video has actually ended up as a bit of a documentary, but also in a weird way it's actually been the footsteps of many of these men and boys. I started at Station Terrace and eventually ended up at a resting place of many of these people. So it's a very emotional thing and a story that we should never forget.